Hello and welcome to a pixel mapping tutorial. What I'm going to do today is show you how to map LED pixel strips. It's using Chamsys MagicQ, and this means you can create all sorts of LED installations. We actually created a stage with it, which is, I'll just show you the video now. So it's like an infinity stage. And what it means is you can achieve loads of different effects, such as flashing, pulsing, and it's pretty much up to you what you can create. So all it is it's LED strip. Let me just clear it all. It's LED strip. It's the WS2812, I believe. Yeah, it's the 2812. And what it is, it's LED strip feeding into a 16-channel DMX controller with two 200-watt power supplies. So what I'm going to do first is just jump into what's possible, just a little bit about DMX and getting everything wired up. So what you're going to need is a pair of wire strippers. This is good for cutting the wire and then stripping off the end. A Phillips screwdriver and just a really small flathead screwdriver, and that's just to screw in the LED wire. You're going to need some individually addressable 2812 LED tape, and then you're going to need a DMX controller. So this is a 16 channel, so it takes in 16 universes in total. Each one can output 340 channels, I believe ArtNet signal. You'll need a Ethernet cable, Cat5, Cat6, doesn't really matter. For me, because I don't have an Ethernet port, I needed to get an Ethernet to USB adapter. You'll need power supplies, depending on how much power you will be using. For the stage that I showed you, that was 11 triangles, which were 3 meters each, and it's about 8 watts a meter. So if there was 33 meters of LED strip in total, and then we had another 6 pyramids, which were about 1 meters each. So we had about 40 meters of LED strip, which is about 8 watts a meter. So what you need is about 340 watts of power. So we got two 200 watts, which means we're only using about 78% of the power anyway. You also need two, or it depends on how many power supplies. For each power supply, you need a power cord. This is just a simple maximum 250 volt power cord. This, you can get them off like old laptops. Like this is off my current laptop, and all you do, you can also get them pre-stripped. So you get them where they've already got the live, neutral and earth stripped, or you can just snip the end off this and use that. You also need just some, we use black red wire. It's just standard copper wire, and that's just used for taking the DC current from the power supplies to the controller and then powering the LEDs. So these are the LED strips. So you can see there's loads of different options. You want the WS2812B, which means it actually feeds in, if you can see, it feeds in 3 channels of information. That's that way actually. So it's power, data and ground. These are quite cheap, so like 1 meter, that's 30 LEDs a meter. These ones I'm using just to play with are 60 LEDs a meter. So if I wanted, so 1 meter, 60 LEDs. So each one of those is $1.99, so it's fairly cheap. The DMX controller is quite expensive because it's a 16 channel, so that was £216, and and then the power supplies, I think they're about £20 each off Amazon. And all the wiring and everything, you know, it's fairly cheap once you get it set up. Obviously, you can just use this controller again and again. It also has a DMX signal, 2 channels of DMX out as well. So the first thing you want to do is obviously strip all your wires. I won't show it now. There's loads of videos on how to strip wires, but all you need is your live, neutral and ground going in to each power supply from a typical plug. And you can see on the label it tells you what's what. So the wire is coloured, there you go, so green and yellow, blue neutral, brown is live. So you just wire them up accordingly. Make sure there's no exposed wire. Obviously turn everything off before you play around with electricity. So you just wire up the 2 power supplies to your main outlet, and then what you want to do is just take a positive and negative from each one. So it's minus V and plus V. So we'll use black is for negative, red is for positive, so it's the same on both, and then that just feeds back in to the back of the DMX controller. So yeah, just negative, 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 positive, positive, and you can plug that in, and if there's a light and it turns on, then everything's good. And when this turns on, what you're going to want to do, actually I'll reset it now. Actually no, I won't. First thing you can do is just hold the M button and I'll put it into test mode. So test mode, you can plug in your LEDs. The LEDs are fairly easy to wire up. They also say on the packet, so red is VCC, ground is white and data is green. So all you do is pull out one of these come with the controller, unscrew on top, feed in the red is the first one, the second one is blank, and then data is green and ground is white. So feed that in, and then once you're in test mode, so we'll go back into test mode, hold the M, and then plus, you know, so you've got, it says that's red, and that's because these are configured differently, the RGB. You can just cycle through them. So it says green, blue, so blue works, yellow, that's meant to be purple, but it's cyan, I don't know. So you can change, it doesn't really matter, you can change this in the settings. So if we exit test mode, so put it back in, so hold that again to test, enter normal mode. So now we'll go to the, so press M to configure. So this is the system setup. So you can go through system, out 1, out 2. So these are all the different outputs. So you have a setting for each. So it cycles through all of them. DMX1, DMX2, and then default and about. So this is the IP address. So you want to set, first thing I'm going to do is go to system setup, press setup, ignore that. Static IP, set this to 2.1.200.1, and I'll tell you about that when we get onto the computer in a bit. So you just go up and down and press enter, 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 press setup again, subnet mask, set that to 255.0.0.0. Pixel protocol, set that to 2812. You don't have to worry about that, you don't have to worry about that, and that's all good. Next thing, you want to go to out 1 and make sure that it's set to universe 1, channel 1, and then the maximum number of pixels for each of these channels is 340. And if you think that each light takes 3 channels of information, so RGB, which means we can get approximately 113, actually write it down, yeah, 113 lights per one of these universes. So you just want to cycle through and make sure that they're all set to the corresponding universe, And once that's done, you're actually ready to get onto the computer. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is go on to control panel on your computer. Go to Network and Internet. Go to Network and Sharing Center. And now select your Ethernet input. And what you want to do is go to Properties. You can disable Internet Protocol version 6, and on Internet Protocol version 4 go to Properties, and then what you're going to do is just put in this IP address and subnet mask, which matches the subnet mask on the controller. So this is just going to be the IP address from the computer. This is what we're actually going to put into Chamsys as well, and it just means that say the controller will be 29201. So if you have more than one controller or more than one device on ArtNet, then add that as 2, and then another one, add that as 3, and it just means that they'll all show up and they can communicate with each other. So once you've done that, you can leave the rest of it blank, press OK, press close, and the next step is to go into MagicQ. So we've already patched them in here, so I'm just going to start a new show. And I'm just going to record the rest of this on the actual computer. Okay, so now that you're in the computer, go to File, New, going to erase current show. I'm going to go Normal. And the first thing you want to do is head over to Setup. Now, if you haven't used Chamsys before, go and check out a few tutorials. It might look a bit intimidating at first, but it's all pretty simple once you get the hang of it. So first go up to View Settings and then go to Network, and what you're going to do is just make sure the IP address is the same as what we've just set in the control panel. The subnet mask is the same. I don't think you have to worry about the gateway address, and you shouldn't have to worry about anything else. You can get a program called the ArtNetometer, which shows you all the ArtNet signals that are coming in. So as you can see, there's Universe 0 and 1, that's the 2 channels we've got, in the subnets, that's the 2 channels that we're actually feeding in. So you can see that it's active, and that's very good. You see Chamsys MagicQ console at the bottom with the IP address. So once you're actually in the Chamsys MagicQ software, what we're going to do is, first we've got a patch in the LED strips. So to patch these in, you can press the patch on the right hand side. You're going to choose head, and then you're going to go to generic. And with these, because it might be LED GBR or RGB, but for the way the LED strips I have them configured, you go to LED GRB, you press that, and then you press patch it. And now the way to think of this is each of those. Actually, before I do that, I will show you also in Setup. You can view the DMX in and out. So you want to add up 16 universes, enable them all, and all the universes in ArtNet are offset by 1. So first universe in Chamsys will be the Art 0 in Out Uni and In Uni. So just make sure that you've got 0, 1, and you just 0, 1, 2, and all the way up to 16. I just had these offset from testing something before. Make sure they're all enabled by double clicking enabled, and you've got to think of it as each one of those LED strips. The first strip will be at channel 1, so you've got 340 channels of signal, which means each of these lights on the LED strip, they'll take up 3 channels for RG and B. So I'll just show you by doing it. It's probably a lot easier. So remember, choose head, generic, GRB, and to patch in the first one, we're going to enter 60 because there's 60 lights at universe 1, channel 1. You press enter, patching in first head, and boom, I've just done that, and you can see the first one is lit up, so that's 60 channels. And what we can do is view the you go into layout now and view the heads that we've just patched in. As you can see, it's for each one is 3 channels, so it starts at 001, then it goes to 004, and so on until you get up to 60 times 3 is 180, so 178, 179, and 180. That's the last one. We're going to patch in the second one. So to patch in the second one, we should do the same. Choose heads, generic, GRB, press patch it, and then we'll do 60 at universe 2.1. Press enter, and the second one has come on. Now that you've got them patched in, they'll appear on your groups. Now if you want to select individual ones, so if you want to select the actually I'll just show you the colours first. So we click red, we've got red lights, we'll go to blue, we've got blue lights, and magenta, and so on. So if you want to patch in each individual strip, we'll just sort them into groups. So click on the group, click view head, and it'll select them all by default. So we know that the first strip is from 1 to 180 on universe 1. So we'll hold shift, and I'm doing this on a touchscreen laptop so I can do this pretty quickly. We'll just select all the relevant heads, or if you want to just select, say, a part of the strip, you can do that, and you go all the way up to 180, and you can make groups of whatever you want. It's completely up to you. So once you've selected up to 180, go back to view groups, press the record button, and click on group, and then press the set button, click on it again, and then name it. So we'll call this strip 1. And now, as you can see, we've got strip 1 controlled. So what we'll do, we'll just clear everything. So everything's white, and now we're controlling just strip 1, and we want to make just strip 1 red. So there, strip 1's red. Awesome. The next thing we'll do is group in the second strip. So we'll do the same. We'll view the heads. We'll start at universe 2 channel 1. Select them all. So if you find it hard to get your head around DMX, I'd say just go on YouTube, spend about 2 hours watching as many DMX videos as you can, and it should click. You should get it, and as soon as you start using it, you'll understand it a lot more. You'll understand what's actually possible. So once you've selected them all, go back to view groups, hit record in the empty slot, and then press set. Click it again, and we'll call that strip 2. Now we've got strip 2. We're going to make that one green, and voila, we've got red on strip 1 and green on strip 2. Now the next thing we can do is start adding some sort of effects. So the first effect we're going to look at is just a simple switching the colours. So we're going to take what we've got now, which is red on strip 1, green on strip 2, and we're going to record what's called a cue. So we'll record that into this little window at the bottom, and just click it. So that's 1, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change strip 1 to yellow, and we're going to change strip 2 to we'll change strip 1 to blue and strip 2 to, say, yellow. So you see you've got that there, and then we're going to hit record and record that into the same queue stack. And then what we can do now is go into that queue stack. We're just going to clear everything first, and we can see these are the 2 different queues we've got. You can name these as well. I think if we just set we call it queue text. So we'll just call it 1 and then 2. So what we can do now is select to play between them. I'm just going to move that. So at the bottom, these are like the faders in. So if you want to fade in the effect, you can see faded in the effect, and it's just going between them. It's on. you can either hit play, or if you hit play you can see it start to switch between the two, and you can see it's got a bit of a fade on at the moment. So if you wanted it to just flash between the two, we'll turn the crossfade down, so then you'll see it's just switching with no fade. And if you want to make it quicker or slower, then you look at the chase speed. So if you want it to be slower, I think you can hold, if you hold shift and click, you'll see it halves every time. So I'm just clicking. Don't need to turn on filter key, so it's going quite quick now. If you want to make it go even quicker, you just keep clicking it to the point where it's flashing really quickly, and you can make it go as fast as you want until it's a point where it's literally strobing. Yeah, so that's cue point sorted. So I'm just going to pause that. And the next sort of effects you can do is okay, the next effect is going to be a little pulse effect. So what we're going to do is just press clear and then make all of the LEDs, we're just going to go for blue. So there we've got loads of blue LEDs, and then we're going to go to click on either the group of them all or the group of each strip, and then what we're going to do is add effects. Go to old, and a good effect is color pulse. So you can see it's just light pulsing through the strip, and obviously same again, we can either turn the effect speed down so it comes through quicker. So the more you turn it down, the quicker it goes. If you hold shift and do it a few times, get to the point where it goes really quickly. You can also turn up fade, which means it fades in either white or the colour that's also been faded in. You can change the effects width, so you can have it 100%, which fades through it all, or you can have it as, you know, this is about 4%, 10%, so it depends how quick you want it. So if you want it to go really quick, you could do about 10% width and about 0.1 second speed, and then you've got a pretty mad strobe effect. Other than that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to show. You can do a group effect. So if you select strip 1 and strip 2, go to group effect, and then go to old, and you can also do the same. So you can do, I think it's color pulse work. Yeah, so it's almost treating, instead of the color pulse on the individual, which treats it as, you know, strips going forward, it'll treat each channel as just one of those. So if you've got, say, more than two, it would go, you know, through them all. If you had like a circle, it will pulse through the circle. So same again, you can just play with the speed, you can play with the effects width. So we'll put the speed down again, and obviously it just flashes through really quickly. Then all it's a case of is just recording these into cues, and there's loads of other videos on Chamsys which you should watch, which will show you a few more things. This is just a pixel mapping tutorial, solely because I haven't seen any pixel mapping tutorials, and I thought I'd share this information. So hopefully that's helped. If there's anything that doesn't work for you, anything, you know, if you run into any problems, just let me know and I'll try and help you out. Other than that, thanks for watching.